Hey guys, what's up? Dan from Metronova Creative. Wanted to make a quick video for you guys to talk about the top 5 design trends that I think are going to happen in 2021. Now, we've been working on stuff all year, and we've been pretty ahead of the game a little bit, which has been great. And some of the things that we were already implementing with our clients, we're starting to see the other design companies out there and the trends kind of heading in this direction. So I wanted to go through those with you a little bit today. So up first, we've got make it sustainable. Now, I know what you're thinking, sustainable, what's being sustainable have to do with graphic design and logos and stuff like that? Well, you see, design isn't just making pretty pictures. Graphic design is about solving problems and thinking constructively. And then if you're good at that, you'll solve those problems, you'll think constructively, and you'll make a better experience for your consumers, right? And if you're really good, then you'll make it pretty. And so when we talk about making it sustainable, really what we're talking about is using design to solve problems. And one way that we've really helped our local restaurant community is creating these table tents that are made out of PVC. They've got a QR code, so they put them on each table, and as a customer sits down, they can scan that QR code and bring up the menu on their phone from their website. Mobile friendly, it's responsive, looks beautiful. And the nice thing is now they don't have to have this kind of single-use paper menu that's just a really bad customer experience. You know, when you go out to dinner right now, especially like if you have an opportunity to actually go out and have a meal, like you want a nice experience. You don't want this crummy piece of paper that they clearly printed in the back and they're just gonna throw it away. I mean, that's not a great customer experience, and it's incredibly wasteful, and it's gonna cost the restaurant a ton of money to keep printing those menus. And even outside of COVID regulations, just having to reprint menus every year is a massive cost for some restaurants. You have to think about every time, if the price of red meat goes up, if the chef decides to change the menu, just normal wear and tear, all those things come into factor having to reprint menus for restaurants. And you're talking about thousands of dollars sometimes. And so this product saves the environment, saves time, saves money. So that's what we talk about when we say design to make it sustainable, something that's going to be a long-term solution and sustain great growth for a business. The second one that we're going to talk about is to make it familiar. Now, there's a lot of uncertainty in 2020, right? People are scared. They're not really sure what's going to happen. And making things familiar and, just kind of a little more comfortable is a great way to design things. And most people, are going back to retro stuff. Now, I want to talk specifically about fonts though. So fonts are kind of like the unsung hero of design. If you're not a designer, if you're just a consumer, then you typically will see a font and probably not think anything about it. But realistically, a lot of care has to go into picking the right fonts for a project. They can really, really, really distinguish what kind of an emotional experience your brand is going to put out there in the world. Seeing a product with a sans serif font that's bold and blocky and straight lines, that creates a type of user experience. Seeing that same package, but with a nice serif font, so, think of Georgia Times New Roman, those are kind of the ones that you guys would know. That creates a different user experience, and it creates some familiarity and some kind of trust. It's like your grandpa. It's like a font grandpa. But it is engaging and it's comforting, and you're seeing a lot of brands start shifting back over there. We've even done it too. If you've seen our kind of Let's Make stuff and some of the additional fonts that we've used, that's Arial text, and it's kind of nice and familiar. A lot of online businesses are utilizing serif fonts for this reason, because they want to create some sort of kind of comfort zone for people that are viewing that product or that design. So look at fonts, go to serifs, use some kind of older traditional stuff. It creates great brand trust. Number 3, make it an experience. So think about, before COVID and everything like that, you would go to your favorite store and you'd walk in and there's the smells and there are the colors and the graphics on the wall and the packaging, and think of that experience that you had and how that plays an important part of that buying process. And think of the fact that you haven't been able to do that in quite some time. And so businesses have been really struggling on how can they kind of recreate that brand experience for their customers who are stuck at home. They can't come out to the retail, the brick and mortar, and so that's why we say make it an experience. It's not random that the amount of subscription boxes and stuff have gone up exponentially this year. People are shopping online more than they ever have before. And so brands have got to realize that this is an opportunity to send that experience of the store to their customer's living room. Imagine opening a box and it's got that smell that they're used to, and the tissue paper is branded colors, and there's like these fun little design elements inside the boxes and stuff. The packaging is all great. And if you can replicate that in-store experience and send it to someone's home, they're not going to forget about you. They're going to keep shopping with you. So a lot of people are really moving towards that. We've even got a popcorn company, and like their logo has this kind of colorful awning on it. And so we're going to utilize that and make some boxes, and the flaps can have the awning. They'll open it up. There'll be a nice, graphics on the inside for the packaging and the popcorn and stuff. But then there's also going to be like a QR code, and there's QR code again on the inside flap of the box where the customer can scan it with the phone. And it's a nice like thank you video from the owner of the business. Like, hey, just wanted to say how much I appreciate you supporting our business, and hope you guys are doing well, and thank you so much for the order. Simple little like tiny elements. Those are the things that people miss about going into a store, talking to that business owner. So putting a video inside the box is it's great. So try to make it an experience. All right, number 4, make it a cartoon. My kids draw cartoons. I love cartoons. My office is covered in nerdy toys and cartoon stuff, and I've always been that way. And I want you to think about when you were a kid and the cartoons on the cereal boxes and how much sway that had with your purchasing power as a child. Your purchasing power is you tugging on your mom's sleeve and say, that one I want, But I mean, think about how impactful those cartoons and illustrations were. Brands are starting to understand and remember how important those things were, and they're coming back. We've had a surge of clients reaching out to us asking for custom illustrations for advertising, hand-drawing cartoon characters for marketing campaigns. We're even doing hand-illustrated graphics and stuff, fun kind of laid-back graphics and cartoons for a government contractor's employee handbook. People are trying to change brands and make them a little more fun, because 2020 was rough. There wasn't a lot of fun. And so people are trying to get back to having some fun. And I think cartoons and illustrations are a great way to do that. You can think of the fact that like you could create like a set of illustrated mascots for your brand, and you could use them to talk about new products, or, just have a more fun online experience, or tell stories. There are just a million different uses and ways that you could utilize cartoons and illustrations for your brand in 2021. It's dynamic, it's fun, and it's exciting. So you should try to have some fun in 2021 and make it a cartoon. All right, number 5, make it funky colors. So again, everything's online. A lot of stuff's online, and when you do have the opportunity to go to a store, people are going in quick and they're trying to make their purchase and they're trying to get out quick. They're not lingering around. And so now, more than ever, it's important to change your brand up a little bit. It's good to have a refresh every few years, and you could utilize your same logo, but have secondary and tertiary colors that are bright and fun and bold and exciting. And the reason is, think about how much time people are spending online now. And so if they're scrolling on social media and they're just kind of mindlessly going through it, which a lot of people do, you have to have something that's going to jump out at them and be bright and pop and bold and really disrupt that pattern. And that same thing happens in the store. If people are just running in real fast because they're like, I'm just going to run in, I'm going to get a couple things, and I'm going to get out of there. You have to have something on that shelf that's going to stand out and make them stop in their tracks and go, oh, what's this? I do it all the time. I'll run in and say, I just need one thing, especially right now. Like, I'll run in to a store, get one thing, and without fail, something bright and cool design will stop me in my tracks, and I go, I could use a new beard balm. It's just without fail. And so you're going to see brands kind of switching to this and changing their color guides up, whereas before it was very, very like, we're only going to use 1 or 2 colors. Now you're seeing even the biggest companies are switching and saying, we're going to have 6 or 7 or 8 different colors, and it's going to be a massive color palette, and they're really enjoying it. And you can utilize, different colors to create kind of like mini brands for different levels of service and products and all types of stuff. There are tons of opportunities, and so definitely in 2021, make it funky. have some bright color, make it bold, and just really have some fun and give your customers a reason to kind of reinvestigate your brand a little bit. Like, oh, what are all these crazy bright colors? Like, let's take a look and see what this is. So yeah, those are the top 5 brand, design tips for 2021. I really think that we're going to see a lot of this stuff. And if you guys have any questions or if you want some help with that stuff, feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to work with you. Metro Nova Creative can handle all of those things, and we really love helping businesses grow and reminding you guys why you love your brand. Well, I'll talk to you all later, and everyone have a good day. All right, bye.